Face down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake roll. Who did he see when he heard?
Everybody, welcome out to the Lager Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday. Sorry, no, it's Friday. Or is it Wednesday? It's one of those days. Now, this is a special Friday podcast for the Lager Room Guys. It is Friday, April 8th, 2022. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is Mr. La Birra Samurai. Actually, Il Samurai de la Birra would be correct. I had said, that's what he said anyway. I'm not taking credit for it. I knew it, but I'm not taking credit for it. But I told him it should be La Birra Samurai Olio.
Olio.
Samurai,
is
Samurai
Italian.
Olio.
Olio is Italian for oil. You know that, right?
Samurai. No, I don't know that. I've never known that. Yes.
Olio is oil.
And what when you get something that's olio, what is it?
Olio is full of oil. It's at the oil. It's in the style of oil. The style of empanadas tonight.
I was going to say, you're not eating oil. You're not eating oil or olive oil or anything Italian right now.
I don't know. These things are pretty olio.
They're pretty olio, yeah. So anyway, welcome on to the podcast. Sorry, it's such a slow, sloppy opening, but we're out of practice because we haven't done it in a week and a half. It's Friday. We had to move things around this week, so we're coming at you on a special Friday podcast while Dave shoves an empanada in his face. And why exactly are you eating an empanada today, Dave?
It is the Giornata Nazionale della Empanada.
Okay, so say it in English for those of the Italian persuasion that are not watching the show.
It's National Empanada Day.
Happy National Empanada Day, everybody! Happy National Empanada Day. There you go. And there you have it.
Empanada.
Exactly. We got 3 comments already. Look at that.
Sorry, who?
Okay. Brian already from the boat.
From the boat.
Brian's already put in his top 3. I'm not going to say what it is because we didn't say it yet anyway. Unless you read the, the post for the show. Anyway, he said, "Have fun." This is I'll show them later, but he said, "Have fun, Volts." Yeah.
So he's a few Mai Tais in.
Have fun, Volts. But he changed Volts to boys. Have fun, boys. There you go.
Boys.
So he wanted to put it.
Compared to him, we're boys. Yes.
Exactly. Yes, we are. So anyway, it's another day too, and I'm going to actually do something. You know what? Well, let's put it up first. Today is actually Draw a Bird Day. So happy Draw a Bird Day. I'm going to draw a bird right here. Are you going to draw a bird?
I'm putting the finishing touches on one.
I'm going to draw one. I'm going to draw one first. Hold on. I'm going to draw one.
I mean, this is awful, but
I'm drawing right now. I'm literally drawing as we speak. It's my favorite bird to draw.
Favorite bird to draw.
Favorite bird to draw. Tell me when I should put it up.
Whenever you're ready, because I've got.
There we go.
That's really good. That's like 10 times better than mine.
No.
Seriously. Really? I mean, look, I'm using one of these things because I want some.
By the way, those of you just listening to the audio podcast, I drew Woodstock. There you go.
That is Woodstock. It's a very good job with Woodstock.
Thank you very much.
So I've been working on with one of these because multiple colors.
Because you can have a few colors.
Yeah.
And if you push 2 down and they write at the same time, you go over the same line. It can actually change the color, so you can actually get some gradients and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
you actually do a really good job if you do it right.
That's what I've tried to do, but this is just awful.
Yeah, you've done better.
Yeah, that's horrible.
You've done better.
Really horrible. Anyway,
I can't explain it, folks. If you're listening to the audio podcast, you're going to have to come back on and show it. Go to Facebook, go to YouTube channel, and check out at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Check out Dave's
bird drawing.
Suck
ass bird drawing.
And mine too. I actually did one earlier.
Yours was pretty damn good though. That was a really good representation of Woodstock.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
It was fantastic.
These
empanadas are pretty damn good too, but it's shredded beef. I like ground.
God, I can actually draw his friend too. Hold on, I'll do that right now.
His friend Schroeder.
Yeah. No, it's just a quickie, so it's not my best work. But
even when you go for a while, I'm sorry.
Quickies are not my best work. Are they really anybody's best work? Though,
they better not be.
Yeah, there's his partner in crime right there.
Your Woodstock's better.
Yeah, I know. Well, I said it was quick.
Quick.
Anyway, but earlier I was watching MLB Network, and
big surprise.
Imagine that, right? And they mentioned the Toronto team, and what team is that? That would be the.
Mm-hmm. You're a waiter?
Yeah,
To wait till my mouth is full?
exactly. That's why I asked the question instead of just saying it.
Toronto would be the Blue Jays.
That would be the Blue Jays, exactly. So I got inspired, and I took a little bit more time than I took, not a lot, maybe a couple more minutes than I took on drawing Woodstock right there. And
I put this shit on everything.
I know. And Eli Manning apparently fishes with it. But
Interesting.
yeah. But in any event, I drew a Blue Jay, not my best work as well, and I scanned it in. Actually did it on my Wacom tablet. I was sent the computer, so I did it. Yeah, I'll throw it up really quick. There you go.
That's not good.
It's not that great. It's all right.
It looks more like a titmouse.
No, I don't see any. I mean, what?
It's just a way to say.
Exactly. Anyway, all right. Enough of the drawing and the laughter and the jocularity.
There's no one laughing.
There's no one laughing. Well, I'm laughing. You're laughing. At least a couple of us are. Anyway, so Dave and I are here for yet another Just the Two of Us. You don't have your music cued.
No, I didn't have the music. No, not this time.
There you go. No Grover tonight, huh?
Nah, not as romantic tonight.
There you go. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna have a little fun with you right now because both of us do want to, finish at some point in time. We don't want to have a marathon show tonight because we do actually want to watch some of the game that we're wearing the
What game?
jerseys for.
Well, I don't have MLB baseball, so the chat. I'm not gonna watch.
Well, it's actually ironically, it's not on. It's only available on Apple TV Plus tonight.
Great. You know how much I love Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fortunately, I can watch it, but it just sucks that same thing with the NFL Network, not even NFL Network, just the NFL. Thursday night NFL games this fall.
Yep.
Only available on Amazon Prime.
That I have.
That's it. Well, a lot of people do, right? Amazon Prime is probably second to Netflix, right?
Yeah.
For that. So, but still, only available even in your local market. It will be blacked out. You won't be able to see it on any local channel.
That is awesome.
Only on Amazon Prime. That's it. So if you don't have Amazon Prime, you're not watching any Thursday Night Football this year.
I mean, I got Amazon Prime, and I may not watch it anyway, just
because.
Just on principle. I mean, that's bullshit.
What the hell?
That's bullshit. If you don't have Amazon Prime, you can't watch your own team in your own damn market.
Nope. Negative.
Nah, that should be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That should be absolutely wrong.
That's the contract. So anyway, so we're gonna drink some beer tonight. Why don't we open some beers and then we'll start BSing a little bit about it.
I'm already into my beer.
You're already into your beer, all right? What is the beer you're drinking? I'll throw it up.
I went classic here.
You did you?
Yeah. Sam Smith's Pure Brewed Organic Lager Beer.
Pure Brewed Organic Lager Beer.
There's a 5% lager out of
Tadcaster. It's in North Yorkshire.
And we were like, John and I were both embarrassed because we couldn't remember what town they were in.
We're like,
even though they make Taddy Porter, that should
Taddy Porter.
Yeah, it should have been dead giveaway.
Yeah,
so I was reading a few things. What's really kind of cool is they're the oldest brewery in Tadcaster.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 other breweries, but they're like big boy brewery, the big boys,
right.
Big beer. At any rate, Birra Grande.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the oldest, and to stick with tradition, they keep 2 dapple gray Shire horses on the premises, and 5 days a week they deliver to bars in Tadcaster with these horses.
5 days a week.
5 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, these horses get more time off than I do.
2 days. That's it. All right, I am going to drink for my first beer, and I'll throw it up on the screen. No surprise. This time of year. Well, any time of year, really, but little whip.
Little whipping good.
Little whip.
And it is one of the Mets colors.
Whip. And it is one of the Mets colors, exactly. Hence the reason for drinking it. Plus, it's such an easy beer, such a wonderful beer,
Oh, exactly. The weather was beautiful today.
It was. It was absolutely beautiful. It was such a gorgeous day. I'm going to take the obligatory picture here. Hold on.
Il tempo è bene, benissimo.
There you go. It was
It's weird. The word for time and weather are the same thing. So I guess when you have like, what is it like?
Mucho bellissimo.
Like the news channels is like they do weather and time and weather. It's like tempo e tempo. Cheers.
Clink.
Clink, clink. Notice what I'm drinking out of.
Schneider Weiss. Foreshadowing again, are you?
A little bit.
There you go. I'm drinking out of.
Well, you're not going there.
Well, actually, I might go there.
Well, I
might visit.
Let's talk about. We got some like upcoming trips.
We do.
Upcoming.
We do.
Upcoming trips upcoming.
We got some upcoming trips upcoming. Exactly. So, why don't you let everybody? Why don't you fill everybody in on your upcoming trip, because it's going to affect the show in a lot of ways, actually.
In a lot of ways, actually.
How about it?
Yes.
How about it?
So the reason I put this up here is because on Tuesday night, I will be leaving on an airplane.
Don't know when you'll be back again.
I may never come back. But we're leaving like 8:30 at night out of Newark. But we will try to sleep on the plane. And when we wake up, we should be landing in Munich, Germany, as we call it here on this side of the pond.
Right.
And we have a 5-hour layover. So we are going to attempt, if we get in time or early, to get out of the airport, jump the S8 train into Marienplatz. Got this all memorized now. Marienplatz. Leave the south exit of the train station, head due east through the tunnel in the one building, and then down there on the left will be Schneider Brauhaus. So we're going to get the pretzels out on the table. We're going to get some schnitzel, some spätzle, maybe some Wurst, and definitely going to be drinking some Schneider. Now, here it's going to be 6 a.m. because Johnny and I had talked about, a quick Lager Room Guys live feed with me there and him there. But John's not getting up at 6 a.m. to watch me drink Aventinus on tap.
No, I don't know whether I'd want to actually watch him live drinking Aventinus on tap at, well, here's the thing. I've had Aventinus on tap many times, but drinking Aventinus on tap at the brewery it's brewed at. That's the difference here.
Now, what's interesting, I notice on Untapped, when you look at the beers, there's always in parentheses a number after all of Schneider's beers.
Right.
That's the tap handles. The tap handles at the brewery apparently never change. Yeah,
Aventinus is tap 6. Yeah.
It's tap 6. So I'm going to be having tap 6 right out of tap 6.
Hold on, I got something for you. Hold on.
Where'd you hide that to? You have to find it.
There it is. Right
there it is.
Yeah, right.
Now, I don't know if you'd celebrate too much if the plane was late and I couldn't make it. But,
no, I'd feel bad for you. I actually would feel bad for you.
That'd be awful. But then later that night, we touched ground at Marco Polo Airport.
Now, when the plane's landing, does the tower say Marco?
Plane goes Polo. That's how they get them in.
All right.
They don't have those guys with the little red cone. They just
no.
Marco.
Exactly.
Marco Polo hated that game as a kid.
I'm sure he did.
But, yeah, we land there. We're getting a rental car. Now, almost all the rental cars there, unless you want to pay mucho euro or molto euro.
I miss Lyra.
Do you?
I did.
Yeah, she was nice.
She was nice. She was a good girl. She was a good girl.
But, unless you want to spend a lot of moolah, all the rentals there are manual. So I got to remember how to drive a manual.
It's like riding a bike.
I can't.
If you drove one enough, you know how to do it.
Last time I rode a bike, I fell
as
off.
soon as that third pedal is there, it like automatically triggers your mind, and you're moving. You're fine.
We'll see. It should be fun. But then we've got to try to get used to the local time. So we're going to try to stay up late, which would be really late for us, but probably still early there. We're going to go. The first place we're going to go is actually a pizzeria. It's a Trattoria Pizzeria. Da Piero? Yeah, Da Piero. And they actually do have beer on tap there. What's the name of the beer? I wrote it down here somewhere. I've got all these goddamn notes. Bud? Nope. So it's called Menabrea.
Menabrea. I've actually had Menabrea.
Have you had Menabrea?
I've had Menabrea.
Have you had the Ambrata?
Yes.
That's what they have on tap. They got a Morata on tap. So on tap there is alla spina.
Okay.
So we're learning on this. So birra, we know, is beer.
Mm-hmm.
Birreria actually is beer bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then the birrificio, that's the brewery.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, keep in mind, folks, I just want a little quick aside, just to let everyone know. Dave does not speak Italian. He speaks beer Italian.
Actually, I've been learning Italian. Getting a little better at it.
There you go.
Just haven't tried to you don't get the opportunity to use it in conversation often.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing it and saying it back, that's what I'm worried about.
Just remember when you're ordering food, when you're sitting down at a nice restaurant, okay, you got to say mozzarella, gabagool.
Oh, we're going to go into this
Manigot.
Manigots.
Prosciutto.
I need
and get kicked out.
Yeah. Freaking kill me.
And they all say go back to Brooklyn.
Yes. So actually so when you go to Italy, yes, there's some birrificios that
it's not a dig on Brooklyn, because I say that
it's the whole area. It's Brooklyn, Staten Island, New Jersey. Well, northern New Jersey, Taylorham, New Jersey.
Right. Yeah. That's the Taylorham district.
Yes.
Speak.
But most people think Italy, they think wine, and we'll hit our share of. Well, we're right near the Prosecco Trail.
There you go.
So you've got
it's a very bubbly trail.
Very
effervescent trail.
Well, here's the thing: it's very spumante.
There you go.
Very spumante, but it's also what's the word for still? Firma.
I usually say still, but yeah, firma.
So they actually have still Proseccos that are supposed to be very, very good.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. Yeah, never had any, but I've never seen any actually. But I've heard it. Yeah.
But the big thing they drink in Venezia, Venice as we call it, are spritzes. Yeah, which it's wine.
And 7-Up.
And 7-Up. No, that's not an American spritz. They put a little soda water in it, but it's Aperol usually. Mm-hmm. So it's a little on the bitter side. They will put Campari in it as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they put Amaro in it, but so they got a sweet, they've got a bitter.
Yeah, I prefer the Amaro. Campari and a Negroni. That's the only thing I'm using Campari in.
But it's going to be interesting because almost every place has it with the Aperol.
Aperol's fine.
So that should be. It's going to be an experience.
Sure.
But there's going to be what's the closest?
Are you gonna take a gondola ride in the canals?
No.
Why not?
That's just stupid.
Come on, you got to do. When in Rome, I mean Venice, I mean Italy.
You can do that in Las Vegas. You can do it in Providence, Rhode Island, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, but it's not just big Italian gondola going down a canal in Venice in Providence, Rhode Island.
We will be on one of the boats. It may not be a gondola. We'll be on probably one of the water taxis.
Water ferries, whatever.
Yeah. Bouncing around on those things.
When I think of Venice, by the way, just an aside, I think there's a lot of things. Obviously, there's been many things you've seen with Venice, and over the course of time, TV shows, movies, whatever. The first thing that always pops into my mind, always when I think of Venice, Moonraker. The movie Moonraker.
Oh yeah, because he's in the boat. Yeah. Actually, I think of
that boat was in when he was down in the Amazon.
That's right.
The movie before.
Oh no, that's that one's Live or Let Die. Right? No, was it?
In the Amazon, because Drax actually had everything. They launched those shuttles to go up to the space station down in Brazil because it's when he went down to Rio. But he was in Venice. That's where they were making those vials of the nerve agent that was going to kill off everybody.
Well, it's a good place to do it because the island of Murano is.
Folks, this is a movie.
It's just outside Venice, and they make glass there, so it's probably a good place to.
It was all the glass makers. Yeah, he was in one of the glass factories, and in one of the rooms there, they had a lab. That's what.
Yeah, so he wasn't.
It's a James Bond movie, folks. In case you're not aware. This is an actual happening.
Actually, when I think of Venice, I think of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Sure. No, that comes to mind too. But I
got to go
for some reason, Moonraker that's the first thing that
I got to go to that church and see if there really is a big X signifying 10 in the tile in the piazza.
Well, if there is, please take a picture of it and we'll post it on.
We'll put that up there. But we'll be doing Venezia, but that's going to be all wine, seafood. Some gelato because fish, ice cream, and wine. It's a great mixture. We won't be throwing that on the boat
put it together.
whatsoever.
You put it. You coat.
Yeah,
You coat the gelato. You coat the fish with the gelato,
Mhm.
and you chase it with the wine while you're drinking it.
There
It's
we
just
go. That sounds
one meal. It's just.
Well, just the other day was fish fingers and custard day. You got to be a Doctor Who fan to appreciate that one. Really is fish
Fingers
sticks in friggin' custard.
Fingers and custard. There you go.
But back to beer.
Yeah.
So
back to the beer because
I did find some beer fishy. I don't know the plural.
fishy beer.
What's the plural of beer officio?
Beer fishios.
No, you put an S on the end. You usually, if it ends in an O, you put an I. But what's better fishy? So better fishy. So we're looking for the breweries. The closest one to us is Birra Galassia. Birra Galassi. It's a Galassia.
Half the time I'm not sure if you're asking me or not because I've actually.
No, I'm asking myself. I'm trying to figure out. But Birra Galassia. Galicia is a region in Spain, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But they're close. Just outside, because we're staying in Pordenone.
Okay.
Just outside Pordenone, just a little to the west is Beneficio de Naum. They look really good. Their food menu looks really good too. Mm-hmm. So definitely be hitting there. And now, when you say craft beer there, apparently it's Beneficio Artigianale. Artisanal beer, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's
that makes perfect sense.
Right. So Beneficio Artigianale Valstora. Oh God, I can't. My memory. I can't remember a damn thing.
Oh, they said the memory's the first thing to go.
Yeah, it's been a few things already gone. Valscora. That's in Sorone.
There you go.
So Birra Artigianale Valscora. That's not too far from us either, so we may take a run there. We are definitely doing a loop through the Dolomites, I Dolomiti. And
Dolomite, wasn't that an Eddie Murphy movie?
Was it?
Yeah. Dolomite, right?
Was that this shit with the flip? Oh no, that was Golden Child.
There you go. So anyway, yeah. Well, I mean, it is true. I mean, the mind is the first thing to go.
Huh?
Exactly. What's the second thing to go?
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
So on this loop, we did find two breweries that we'll be hitting on this loop. Beneficio Artigianale Foglie d'Erba, which means grass leaves.
It's a lot of words for two words.
Yeah. No, well, it's artisanal brewery. It's grass leaves craft brewery.
There you go.
That's in Forni di Sopra. Sopra means on top, so it is at the peak. So it's up there. It's grass leaves. Now I don't know if they mean this kind of grass or not. It's also a pizzeria in case you get hungry.
Right.
So they have that there. The one I'm looking forward to is Beneficio Artigianale Bandai. Sounds like a Japanese word, doesn't it?
I thought it was, actually.
What it is it's some guys from Australia. They moved to Italy, and they're actually from Bondi, Australia. And there's a saying up there that says Bondi, which is just one of those like offhand things to say, okay, let's go. Bondi.
Isn't that a tree in Japan? No, it's bonsai.
It's bonsai.
Bonsai.
But then, so they call it Bondi. Now, what really caught my attention was the names of some of their beers, because I had to look more into them because their names were mostly in English. So that's how I found out they were Australian. They've got one called Heya.
The names are mostly in English. That's how you found out they were Australian.
Yes. Well, I wanted to figure out why are they doing this in English.
Right.
So I read more into it. So they got Heya, which is an American amber ale.
That was put. That was put out by. What group was that?
That was what's his name? Heya.
You know where I was going with that.
Yeah. Well, the next one's Magic Bus. That's a double IPA.
Oh, Outcast. Yeah, Outcast.
Outcast. That's it. Yeah. Then there's one. Their porter's called Porta Porta. I really don't know the reference there.
Well, you get 2 pours of it every time you.
That'd be nice.
Order it. Yeah.
Then they've got an American IPA called Listen, Can You Hear It?
It sounds just like an American IPA would be named in America. So
yes. There's one called Beeb, which is a German pill. So I'm sure it has nothing to do with the Justin of that kind of.
I love the fact that there's so many great Italian pilsners, but yet they make a German Pilsner at an Italian brewery.
This is extremely close to the Austrian border, by the way.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's in a town called Sutrio, and it's up there. Then they've got one. It's an American Pale Ale that's called Point Break.
There was a movie called that too.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't that like Iron Man's nickname for Thor?
It might have been.
I think so.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
They make a Berliner Weiss called Lost Paradise, an Imperial Stout called Perla, but it's an acronym. I don't know what the acronym stands for. They do make a
pretty partially every. I'll think of it.
Okay. Probably something to do with LA. I don't know. Then they've got they actually have a Rausch beer.
Nice.
Called Ben Fumade.
Italian Rausch beer.
Yes, Ben Fumade.
You're going to have to get that, take a picture of it, and put it up on This Week in Rausch beer. You know that.
Oh yeah, no.
Because I will personally text John Hall and make sure that he knows that you have to, and if you don't, he will shame you.
If they have it. Don't get them all worked up for nothing. And frankly, I really don't want to be thinking about John Hall on my vacation.
Well, I'm sure he would think about you on his vacation.
No, I don't think so either.
Probably not. Yeah.
They've got you know what they named their Christmas ale?
What's that?
It's called Olaf.
Okay.
Some people are worth melting for. Isn't that sweet?
That's pretty cute.
Yeah. They have a Pacific lager. I don't know what that is.
Pacific lager.
Unless it's a Japanese lager.
Maybe it's a Japanese lager. Yeah, I could see that.
It's called Lamrock 62. They got one called...
And then they make a St. Patrick's Day beer called Shamrock 62.
Yeah. No, 64. And then Eddie Would Go. DDH American IPA. So
Eddie Would Go?
Eddie Would Go. Don't know the reference.
Is that related to the Listen Can You Hear It?
I don't know.
You'll have to find these things out and report back.
I will have to speak with them extensively while I am there.
Extensively.
There you go. Ostensibly.
So anyway. All right. Well, are you finished? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's going to be kind of the beer scene. I mean, there's other Italian breweries there that'll show up in some of the shops we wind up at. There's a place called Almarca. It's like Marca.
Marca.
This is in Venice.
Murka.
It's a sandwich shop in. It's one of those.
Spelled differently. Everybody else spells it Murica. It's Murka.
This one's at Merca. Merca.
Merca. Oh, Merc. That works too.
It's technically a bar. Bar. You got to roll your R. Bar. But
is it a pirate bar? I mean,
yeah, maybe. I don't know. But it's all the bars there serve. They call cicchetta. Cicchetta are these little snacks. Usually they're like little sandwiches or stuff like that. Right. And this one's no different. But they serve Birra Salento. Okay. Salento's out of Salento, Italy, which is in the heel of Italy. Mm-hmm. So we won't be getting anywhere near that. And they actually make a tippa. And they have the tippa on tap.
So it's a tippa tap.
No, the Tip Tap room's in Boston. So
anyway.
So that'll be a lot of fun. And then but there's one more place that I got to bring up. This place is
go for it.
It's called Hop and Rock. It's in Trieste. I don't know if we're going to make it there because my son will be with us. And you'd think, okay, well, he's of drinking age now, but he doesn't drink. Like, okay, then you got a designated driver. He doesn't drive. So pretty much useless to me on in this aspect. But Hop and Rock, I pulled up pictures on Google, and on the shelves, everything's labeled in English. Their Facebook page is in Italian. Mm-hmm. They advertise in Italian, but a lot of the stuff in there is American. And they have the first time that I was scrolling through like beer lists of places out in Italy mm-hmm. and came across like Founders. Like, wow, that's impressive.
Nice.
But I'm really looking forward to if we can get there. They do carry beer from a brewery outside of Rome called Ritual Lab. That's supposed to make amazing stuff. Papanero is their stout, and my God, it looked luscious. So
cool.
So that's pretty quick alcohol run down of the trip to Italy. I mean, we're doing stuff other than eating and drinking, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
We do have reservations for a prosecco dinner at a castle.
You're going to drink prosecco for dinner?
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah, they've got food that they pair with it, and it's going to be actually at a castle on a hill up in Conegliano.
There you go.
So that should be a lot of fun.
I went to school with him.
Conegliano?
Joe Conegliano. Yeah.
Joe Conegliano. His neck is this big.
Actually did, but
was his neck this big?
Not so much.
No, not so much.
Anyway, I need another beer.
So
I finished my whip.
And the thing is, this is a beer. This is a good beer to close out my my discussion about Italy on.
Well, there you go.
Because you started with a carton.
Right.
I'm finishing with a carton.
There you go.
It is a semifreddo ale.
And I will put it up for you right here. Here you go. Right here.
51 years later.
51 years later.
Semifreddo tart ale.
It's a semifreddo tart ale.
Now, what a semifreddo?
So it's not a full Freddo tart ale.
It is not a full Freddo. Well, no, because it's not fully frozen.
Right.
It's semi-frozen,
right.
Half frozen. So semifreddo
is slushy.
It's not slushy, actually. So it's like ice cream, gelato.
Right.
But it's not churned, so it's not creamy. So when you freeze it, it doesn't get as solid as ice cream. So you don't scoop it. What they do is they form it into like logs.
Fair enough.
And then cut it. So remember the what was it? What did they call it? The Venetian was it Breyers had that like ice cream log?
Yeah.
Right? It was called the Venetian or something like that, right?
It's something like that, yeah.
But it's the desserts are something like that, but they're smoother, they're creamier. When they're frozen, they're still nice and creamy. And so they top them in so many different ways. They can flavor them just like they do your gelatos. So this is a semifreddo tart ale, and what makes it tart are the cherries in it.
Okay.
So these cherries are the Amarena cherries.
Mm-hmm.
Amarena cherries. So
Amarena. It's
Amarena. Yeah, the Amarena. Yeah, so if you see them in the store, usually like an Italian specialty store, they're in those little blue and white like porcelain things that actually look more Greek than Italian. Mm-hmm. Right? You would think they're from Greece, but
nearby. I mean, it's not far.
It's not that far.
That far away.
And Italian, the Roman culture did steal everything from the Greeks anyway. So, but these are
say that before you go to Italy. That's
yeah, I was saying get that out now. But it's but they are dark tart cherries, and this is only what 9.5%.
This is only what? Oh, it's only 9.5%. It's sessionable.
Yeah, just yesterday, my doctor told me to cut back on my drinking. I'm only having 2 tonight.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Fair enough.
Oh, yesterday was National
Beer Day.
No, yesterday was National Beer Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you get your badge?
I got my badge.
I got my badge.
You're all badge hoard on that one.
I got my badge on. Do you remember what beer you got your badge on?
I do remember what I remember my first. Yes, it was Mounds of Darkness.
Mounds of Darkness.
Never.
Right. Yeah, but what beer did you get your badge yesterday on?
Source Farmhouse Brewing's Mounds of Darkness.
There you go. Yes, I did see that. I actually got mine on a beer I had in Wingcraft in Atlantic City yesterday. I had an Icarus SD.
Yes, and you said that it was actually fresh.
Yeah, well, I said that for Gene's purpose.
Yeah, because Gene
clearly was fresh. They just brewed it and it was on tap at a bar. So, yeah,
Gene and I are of the same opinion of Wingcraft. On the one time I've been there, it's like how long has this been sitting in the keg?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a good beer.
Yeah.
Anywho, absolutely.
Have they moved yet?
Wingcraft?
No, Icarus.
Oh, Icarus. Guys, I didn't know Wingcraft was moving. No, Icarus is not moved yet. No, they got a while. They got a while before they do.
They're coming up.
Yeah, so I will for my second beer. Actually, I'm changing up. I'm actually having 3 beers tonight, and the only reason it's 3 is because I only have like a half of this one beer because I actually had it earlier, and it was a crowler, so there was a little bit left in the crowler. So I figured I'd drink that, but I'm gonna have the other one too. So this one is Cultivating Mass. It's from Twin Elephant.
Nice.
There you go.
I really wish I could have made it that day, but I was
It's
just
a
so
crowler, and there you go.
American brown. American
Brown. There you go. There you go.
They do some good
it
rye
is
stuff.
it is delicious.
Yes, it is.
There is rye in this. It dries it out a little bit. It's a little bit of rye spice. It's really, really good. I mean, just look at it right there. Yeah.
Just look at it. It's beautiful. It's Ohio. Why is there Ohio in your glass?
Because it's a Rheingeist glass.
I see.
There you go.
Do you ever clean that glass?
Yes. No, I just leave it here. I just keep pouring beer every week in it. I just leave it there. I lick it out. I change, spit in it, wipe it down, But yeah, cheers. This is a really tasty beer. So
cheers.
Cheers to Twin Elephant.
I need an antacid.
I can neither confirm nor deny that there might be a collab in the works for later this year with Twin Elephant.
Well, the way I look at it, anytime that I hear you and Matt are at the same place, that there might be at the same brewery other than yours, which hasn't come to fruition yet, which means any brewery that you two are at so far, I just assume there's a collab coming.
There you go. Fair enough. There you go. Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, it's
speaking of, who's the guest next week?
TBD. There could be a possibility of somebody else instead of the one we discussed.
Okay.
I will let you know. I'm not going to say it right now because we don't know for certain.
You don't know. Of course you're not.
But I'll fill you in later. But we will announce on Monday who the guest next week is going to be. So here's the deal. All right. Let me pull this up really quick and just to show you the dates. Hold on 1 second.
Dates.
There we go. So next week you are not on the show at all.
Yes, that's we should mention that now that
we
finished my Italian Odyssey.
It is just myself and Matt, Mr. Potensky. We will be on. We will have a guest, and
I'm not sure who that guest will be at this point.
We pretty much know, but we'll announce on Monday who the guest will be next Tuesday. So Tuesday, regular podcast, regular night. Right. The following week, the 19th. That's the 12th next week. The following week, the 19th. Dave will be on the show.
Listen, well, I'll be back.
But he will be broadcasting
somewhere
from somewhere in Europe.
It will be past midnight.
It'll be past midnight for him.
Oh, it'll be somewhere in Italy. Well, I don't know. I might wander off into Austria or Slovenia.
There you
go. No,
just walk or
No, if I can figure out the gears, I'll drive.
There you go.
But So it'll either be. So here's the thing about Pordenone. Pordenone is really close to a NATO base.
Talk about that for a second. Let me get through the rest of the schedule, and then we'll talk about the Pordenone. Yeah. So anyway, so that's the 19th. The 26th is a regular show. It's a regular show.
Just a
regular show.
Regular show in a while.
However, there will be 3 hosts and 2 guests.
3 hosts and 2 guests.
So there's your regular show.
That's not very regular. That's pretty irregular.
We'll announce that this week, right now. That it will be myself, Dave, and Matt. And we will be hosting Alex and Jason from Strong Rope Brewing in Brooklyn.
And that's actually where I was going with the speaking of collabs.
There you go.
I keep forgetting about the 12th.
Fair enough.
And then
and the week after that, and that's the 26th. The week after that is going to be May 3rd. There will be no show. Okay.
There will be no show.
There will be no show. We will maybe Dave and I will do a show on Friday that week. To be
why are we not going to have a show on the 3rd?
What's that?
Why are we not having a show on the 3rd?
Because you didn't want to.
Why was that?
I'll let you think about it for a second. While I pull up another bird picture. Oh, you know what? Really quick, I got to tell you this.
Just checking my calendar. I'm trying to figure out what that was.
I'm gonna make him really, really, really go crazy here. Let him think about it for a second.
Yeah, think about that.
Just keep thinking about it while I pull this other bird picture. It's actually interesting.
I thought you were going somewhere. You going somewhere?
I drew this actually before. Now I'm still letting you think about it. I'm letting you sweat.
No, I'm not sweating it over. We'll get there when we get there.
Here you go. Hold on.
There's the bird picture. He's drawing another bird.
I had it already.
Oh, you had another bird.
I had another picture. I'll forget it. I can't find it. Forget it. It's not worth it anyway. It was going to be a funny joke, but forget about it. Anyway,
Okay.
we are not doing the show that Tuesday, right? Because Matt and I will be in Minnesota.
Yes, what I thought.
Yes. So
I thought you were going to do the show from Minnesota.
we're not going to do the show from Minnesota because the show at 6:30. It's going to be 5:30 out there.
So
the conference will still be going on.
Oh, that's what you've got stuff to do.
Right.
You're not going out there just to go out there.
We're not going out there just to go out there. Exactly. So we may, and Dave will include Dave if we decide to do this, depending on where we are afterwards. We may actually do an Instagram or FaceTime live from there, including Dave. We'll invite him on. So the three of us will be on.
So I can make fun of their drunken asses.
So you can make fun of our drunken asses, yeah. But it'll well that's to be determined. It depends on what exactly is transpiring that particular evening. So but for now there won't be anything scheduled because of that. So that'll be announced then. So basically and then once we get back to it the week after that, then it's back to normal. Yep. So the next 4 weeks are going to be a little interesting.
All over the place,
including this week too, because we're doing Friday night, right?
Yep.
So there you go. So
yep. And last week was.
I just looked up really quick, and you look like you look. I'll say it later. Just remind me later who you look like. That the expression on your face when I looked up really quick just reminded me of somebody that we're going to talk about later, and I will leave it at that. Just remind me.
Please don't let it be who you were going to have on Tuesday. Please.
No, not at all. No. And
we're not even going to say because I'm.
No. So
anyway, so we have. Let's talk about Pordenone because also what's going to wind up happening. So the Tuesday of the 19th, I will find a place to do the podcast from. Mm-hmm. It will be in Italy. It'll be past midnight. On local time, we may go a little earlier than usual. We'll see.
We can figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Time to be determined. But then again, our show's always time to be determined.
Well, yeah, maybe it'll be at 6:30 that night.
Yeah, we'll plan it for 5:45.
Exactly.
But the thing about Pordenone is it's outside a NATO air base, and that's the whole reason I'm going because that's where my son's stationed. You've heard me say this many times in the show. But because it's outside a NATO air base, you have all the NATO allies having a presence at that base.
Sure.
There's bars that serve that base all over Pordenone.
I want you to find while you're there. I want you to find an officers' club that's reminiscent of the officers' club from MASH.
I'm not going to be on the base. I can't get on the base. Kidding me?
And when you walk in, you got to walk in like Henry Blake and order a banana daiquiri.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me to go in like Klinger.
No.
But
you go in like a big pink bird with fuzzy pink feet.
Oh, there we go. I'll have my hair in a hairnet and a pink fuzzy robe and
big red bird with fuzzy pink feet. That's what it was.
So at any rate,
anybody that didn't watch MASH has no idea what the hell I'm talking about.
Not a clue what you're talking about. But they have two British pubs there: the King's Arm, and the other one's called British Pub. I think it's so original.
Very original name. Actually, yes. I've been to about 4 or 5 British pubs. And when I say that, I mean I've been to 4 or 5 bars that are named British pub.
So there's
actually, a couple of them were called English pubs. It was English pub or British pub, one of the other.
So there's one called the White Hart Pub. So harp in it, we think Irish, and it is an Irish pub.
Sure.
There's one called Igeo. Igeo is a Belgian beer shop, and it's got a small bar in it. And they've got a few taps, and beginning of April, they actually had Cantillon Creek on tap. There is no way that will still be on tap when we get there.
Hell no. It's gone now.
I'm already, and I'm crying over it. But who knows? Maybe they'll have
another.
Maybe they'll have something better. No, I was going to say have something better.
Cantillon is a little closer to Italy than it is to the U.S., so they might actually have another Cantillon.
It's very possible. Mm-hmm. Actually, no, that place is not called British Pub. It's called London Pub. It just came to me here.
601 London Pub, British Pub, English Pub.
Really, really close. Then there's a place called Brewery Bierengel. It is a Bavarian beer hall. So you got yourself a German place as well.
There you go. You're set.
Yeah, so we got
making everybody jealous. All right, that's all I have to say. Stop making everybody jealous.
We'll see how things go. We'll see if they even let me into the country. my reputation may precede me, or
well, it definitely does, but I don't know if they're going to care about that. I mean,
or my son may have made things a little vitriolic for the Sechon family.
Maybe he actually went ahead and asked everybody, "Hey, it's my dad. Give him a pass. Let him come in for a little while. Promise he's leaving.
we'll get him out here." So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. But I'm thinking of one of those bars in Pordenone to do the show from
on the 19th.
On the 19th, because here's the thing: even though it'll be past midnight, they're all up until 2.
Yeah, you're good
on a Tuesday.
That's a lovely thing.
What are we doing wrong?
You got an hour?
Yeah, that'll be a whole show. The locker room guys discuss what we're doing wrong.
There you go.
There's some characters we'd have to have on there. Scott Wells would have to be on the show.
No, we have to have a separate show just for Scott Wells because you and I would.
Yeah, that'd be 2 hours.
Right.
A 3-hour show with Augie.
Mm-hmm. Don't say his name again.
I've said it once. I won't say it again.
Won't say it again.
But yeah, so that'll be. And here's the weird thing. So you get in Italy. I've noticed there's the places that do lunch and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do lunch from like noon until 2:30.
Sure.
Then they shut down.
Oh yeah.
Then they open up at 6:30 or 7 for dinner.
Oh yeah.
And close at midnight.
Yep.
Or 11. Now here's the interesting thing: on Fridays and Saturdays, they stay open later.
Mm-hmm.
If they stay open to 11 o'clock on a Wednesday or Thursday,
mm-hmm.
Friday, Saturday, they're open till 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Little half hour.
It's just a half hour more.
But yeah, no.
It's like, why bother?
There's a lot of restaurants though that have slowly but surely been actually adopting that, and they'll open for lunch at noon or 11:30 or something like that, and they'll stay open until 2:30 or 3 o'clock, and they close, and they open up again at 5. 2 hours later, just boom, they can clean up everything, set everything back up for the service, so it's not constantly turning over tables. You don't have to worry about, it's more food prep. It's a lot. It's just a little bit easier. It doesn't really change too much the dynamic of the business, but they actually it makes things level out a little bit because I mean, what do they lose? Maybe like 3 or 4 covers. It's not a lot of people between 3 and 5 that are coming in there, so they close down. You know, trust me. If there were a lot of people going in there between 3 and 5, they would not be closing down. So. But the restaurants that get really thin between 3 and 5, they close down. It just makes things for everybody that's working easier to get ready for the dinner rush.
I was thinking it was like maybe they're just
kitchen more than anything else, but still
like Spain and Mexico that takes the siesta in the middle of the day, have lunch, take a nap.
Hey, you know what? It could be that as well, especially if they're closing at 2:30 and not opening again until 6.
And again,
4 hours. So it's a little bit different.
Shut down for a couple hours in the middle of the day to take a nap. Again,
nap for an hour.
What are we doing wrong?
You got 3 hours.
We need the nap.
Yeah.
So we're that'll be fun. Experiencing that, but I'm really looking forward to this dinner at the castle.
Yeah,
that should be something special.
No worries. Now it's a 6-hour difference, right?
It is a 6-hour difference.
6-hour difference. So if we actually do start the show at 6:30, it's 12:30.
It is.
It's after midnight there.
It is 0.30.
Yeah, 0 or 0 dark 30, as some people say.
Dark 30. Yes.
Dark 30. Dark 30. Yeah.
What does the O stand for? Oh, God, it's early.
Yeah, exactly. Or late.
But it's so they do military time there. So trying to get used to that, which has screwed me up a few times. I'm like, oh my God, it doesn't leave until 8 p.m. No, it's 18. 6. Okay. Right. Subtract 12 on the hexadecimal system.
The hexadecimal?
No, that's dodecanal. Dodecanal? Something like that.
I don't know. Don't ask. 2 beers in.
That borders on math, and we've got a rule against doing math on the show.
No math on the show. The most math we do on the show is announce that it's Pi Day, and that's once a year, and it already passed last month, so it's good.
Yeah, we're done. Mm-hmm. We're done for the year.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about really quick. Let's talk about
before you talk into that. You've got something coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe. Right? You said you might be getting up to. You said you might be getting up to Rhode Island.
We might be taking.
We got Minnesota coming up.
We got Minnesota coming up in the beginning of May.
And you're going out there why with Matt?
We are going out to the Craft Brewers Conference.
Because you guys are now almost officially craft brewers.
Sure. Well, I mean, we are, but yeah.
Well,
he is more than me.
Well, he has been.
He has been, and I mean,
he's not a has been.
We are craft brewers per se. I'm a craft.
He's John's crafty.
I'm very crafty. Always been crafty for years.
You should see the birdhouses he makes.
Oh, I tell you, and the ships in a bottle. I love it. It's great.
So crafty.
So much fun. So anyway, in any event, we're going to Minnesota, so that's gonna be fun. Lot of work out there. We're gonna do some stuff. We'll have some fun out there too. And Matt and I will, or at least I will. I'll Facebook Live or Instagram Live from there. A couple of brews will hit while we're out there, or even on the floor of the.
And if I make it to Bondi, I will probably Facebook Live from Bondi.
Yeah, and anything that any of us Facebook Live from, it'll all go on. It'll all go on the Lager Room Facebook page, and subsequently it'll be on the website as well. So you'll be able to see all of this. Whether you want to or not, you'll be able to see it. So.
I don't think I've ever been on the website.
Exactly. But in any event,
and how do I get my email again?
Just log into www.beersamurai.com and type in beer, and you're good to go.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Nice try.
Anyway,
but it's a strong beer. It's not that strong.
Jess and I might be taking a ride to in a few weeks up to Rhode Island as well.
My stopping grounds.
There's a couple of other options. I'm not sure what they might be, but most likely it's going to be Rhode Island. So if that's the case, we're going to be visiting some of the guests we've had on the show. We'll be visiting Scott from West Passage. We'll be visiting Efren from Providence.
Oh yeah, he's. Oh my God, I forgot. So I was telling John where to stay, and I told him I put you really close to about 10 breweries. Yep. I forgot about where Efren has moved to, and his buddy next door. That puts you within like 10 minutes of 12 breweries, John.
Yeah. Well, the Revival's right next door to him too, right?
Yes, that's what it is. So it's Revival. So you got Revival. You got Providence. You've got up in up where I used to live. Nicole.
Pawtucket. Yeah, of course. Nicole. I've been to, we've been to Foolproof before. We've been to, we've seen Nicole before, but I want to stop in and see Nicole.
Yep.
I have not been to Smug. The Smug opened.
You got to get to Smug.
Go see Rob.
Go see Rob, and then you've got the Guild there, which does have night shift.
Yep.
It's not as good as the stuff that's brewed up in
Of course not. Well, night shift is in New Jersey now.
Yes, but it's delivered there.
Right. Well, it's sent and then delivered, distributed in New Jersey. So, but it comes down from. I mean, let's face it. Pawtucket is not anywhere near as far away from Everett, Massachusetts, as New Jersey is. So.
Yeah, but I think they do some of the brewing there. The Guild is a contract brewing. They do their own beer, and they do a bunch of other
It's possible.
Brewers there.
It's beyond anything I'm aware of, so it'd be good to check that out and find
but
that out.
I'm trying to talk John into taking a hotel, which is like 5 minutes from Proclamation.
Tell everybody where it is and the room I'm going to be in. And
it's Warwick. It's in Warwick. It'll be and it's going to be room 323.
Exactly.
And it's going to be really close to. It should be pretty.
Want to take a ride down too, because I've been to Tilted Barn a couple times, but I have not been to the new location.
Got to get to the new location, and then it's not too far from Western Passage from there.
Exactly. Get down and see Scott at West Passage and have some of that beer. And you know what? I mean, if there's time, I may even take a ride over and see our buddy over at 12 Guns.
If you do that, get the 6-pack and ask him. Ask him. We've been trying to get him on the show.
Yeah.
He is. He's a technician. I mean, if you want to start, just talk brewing with him. 3 hours later. 3 hours later.
Right.
Is when you'd be like, I really need to eat.
Exactly. I got to eat something to eat here. Yeah. So anyway, so we're looking at doing that. So obviously we'll be reporting back on. I'll be reporting back on that as well, and probably Facebook Living a little bit from a couple of the breweries, especially ones we've had on the show. I'll probably if I get up to see Nicole and see Efren and see Scott and at West Passage and that, I'll jump on Facebook Live with them from there for 5 minutes. Just a quickie little thing, and get an update on them and some of the beers they're having and what I'm drinking at that particular point, and and you can check it out. It'll be good. All right. On that note, I was about to say before, a little bit of industry news to report.
I've heard.
we've been talking a lot about Stone lately, right? We've been talking about
no developments in that.
There's been no developments in that other than the fact that where it was the last time we talked about it. They won their lawsuit against Miller Coors. The amount has not, if it has been announced, I haven't seen it yet or whatever the settlement was going to be. They have not yet announced what they're doing as far as their loan it's being called, which is $464 million. A lot of money. But in the same vein, in the same breath, if you will, Modern Times has been in kind of the same situation, and they expanded a lot, and it's kind of coming due. It's coming to a head right now with them. They did close a number of their locations, obviously in an effort to tighten the belt, so to speak. Apparently, that did not work. There's a last-ditch effort right now, as this article right now in Good. I'm taking this wording from Good Beer Hunting, but it's out there in a lot of places. Modern Times braces for receivership sale, possible liquidation. Let me read. I'm just going to read the first paragraph to you. The gist. Here's the gist. On April 6th, San Diego-based Modern Times announced that one of its lending banks had initiated litigation that will likely result in the brewery being placed into financial receivership. It's the latest and most significant setback for the struggling company after leadership shared in February it was seeking a buyer for the brewery and coffee business. If placed into receivership, a bank will appoint an individual to be the receiver or financial decision maker for the company until it can be sold or liquidated. So this is
not good news
for Modern Times whatsoever. So, it's really unfortunate that this is happening. But we're talking about mammoths here. We're talking about really big boys that got maybe bigger than they maybe should have.
Too big,
when they
too
did.
Quick.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you got to question the banks in both these instances.
Mm-hmm.
Did they look at this and know? Was it something that they thought, you know what? Well, of course, every bank that puts out a loan is going to sit there and go, yeah. And if they default on it, we own them.
Right.
And then maybe we run it better than they do, or find someone who runs it better than they do for us, or we get more money out of it from whoever buys it.
Mm-hmm.
So the banks never lose. No. But we'll see, because if we lose Modern Times, that's some damn good liquid being lost.
It's good beer. It's good beer. I mean,
and if we lose Stone, that is
I look. With all due respect to Modern Times, they make really good liquid, and I really enjoy.
But I'd cry more over Stone.
I'm going to cry more over Stone than I am about. But it seems that if I'm going to take a shot in the dark here, obviously there's no reports or whatever. In light of this new development with the fact that Stone actually won that lawsuit, won the litigation against Miller Coors, that's going to really help them. To some extent, okay. At least buy them a little time to do a little bit more maneuvering. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like the 11th hour for Modern Times, and not to quote for anybody watching in Pittsburgh, not to quote a Pittsburgh brewery, which is called 11th Hour. It looks like the 11th hour.
Oh, I thought you were going to quote Yogi Berra.
Yogi Bear or Yogi Berra?
Yogi Berra.
Berra. Yogi Berra. We got to invent that character. We got Yogi Bear. We got Yogi Berra. Now we got Yogi Berra.
He drinks beer with picnic baskets.
We got that. We call dibs on that. Nobody hearing this. We call dibs on that.
Yogi Berra.
Yogi Berra.
He's an orso. Right. Italian for bear. He's an orso who goes on picnics. And gets drunk and causes trouble. Picnics.
But he's also a catcher for the Yankees.
But he's also yes.
So.
And comes up with some wonderful quotes.
Wonderful quotes. Exactly.
No one goes there anymore.
It's too busy. Exactly. When you get to the fork of the road, take it. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Low prendi. Take it.
There you go. Parapin threes. That's my favorite. Parapin threes.
But the quote that I was going for was, "It ain't over till it's over."
It ain't over till it's over. Well, I mean, it ain't. That's the one that makes the most damn sense.
It's the only one that makes me freaking sense.
It ain't over till it's over.
I love them in the Aflac commercials.
Yeah, you gotta love it. There you go. So anyway, that's that report for the day. But we look. Honestly, we wish Modern Times all the best.
We do.
if there's anything that they can do to get out of this, we hope, we'll cross our fingers and hope that they can work on it.
This is
Maybe sell off part of the company, maybe a couple of their locations, some of the ones they closed, maybe who knows? I'm not going to sit here and tell them how to run their business.
Or were they leases? They were probably leases, so they probably can't even make any money out of closing.
I'm not even saying that. I who knows? I really don't know how they.
All they can do is cut a cost.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to make money off of closing anything. And maybe it's a cautionary tale for other breweries. Stop taking loans in 6 digits.
Exactly.
Oh, 7 digits. 9 digits. Jesus. These things are in 9 digits.
Exactly. It is 9 digits. It's crazy.
Yeah, see, this is why we don't do math on the show.
We don't do math on the show. So stop doing math on the show. All right. We brought up Yogi Berra.
Yogi Berra.
All right. So
we got to open a third beer for the threes.
Why don't you? Are you gonna open the third beer?
I don't know. I gotta see what's in the fridge here.
Why don't you see what's in the fridge there?
I'm just gonna. Here, I'll be over here.
You'll be over there.
You keep talking. I'll be over here.
I'll keep talking. You be over there. Just squat down a little bit so we don't see your plumber's. Plumber's shot there.
I'm not twerking or anything.
There you go. No, that was it. Just the whole floor was moving up and down. Is what it was.
What do we have in here?
I don't know. I can't see.
Well, what's your third beer?
My third beer. Why don't I tell everybody what my third beer is while you look? I'll do that. There you go. Okay, my third beer. I'm going to throw this up right here. Throw it up, so to speak. All right. Well, I don't plan on doing that, but I will be having from Mass Landing. It's a 5.2% Scottish ale called Solidus.
Called what?
Right, Solidus. Solidus. I don't know. I did not.
You know what I can drink?
What can you drink? Well, I'm drinking Solidus, so I'm telling everybody about that. So we'll hear about what you can drink in a minute. So
I could drink one of these.
I hate you.
I may actually save this.
I would like you to.
For you.
Thank you very much.
Did I give you one of these?
Oh, you did?
Yes.
You did. Well, you don't have to save that for me. Just save it to drink with me. Do it that way.
Maybe.
6 of 1.
If you behave yourself.
If I behave myself. I'm going to take the obligatory picture here. What the hell are you doing?
Looking for something.
In what?
Fuck it, I'll drink
Let's
this.
take the obligatory picture here. There we go. All right. There we go. Here's my Mass Landing. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's a beautiful Scottish ale. Look at that.
That is a beautiful Scotch ale.
There you go.
So I'm going to drink this.
Oh my God, that's tasty.
Is it?
Oh wow. Smooth, clean.
I'm not going to drink this whole thing.
Smooth. Hold on. Smooth, clean, a little bit of caramel. Bready. It's nice. It's a really good Scottish ale.
Was it bready or bretty?
Bready, not bready.
It better not be bready.
Not bready.
That's
No
outside
tea.
style. That's outside style.
Bready.
So I'm going to go with something that's a little.
I don't have this, so I can't put up a crawl, so you can tell me.
Yeah, so it's one of Grimm's crazier concoctions. If you can read here, it's Memory Palace.
Put it a little closer to the camera eye.
It's an imperial stout with coconut,
Memory
chili, and cardamom.
There you go.
Which is interesting because I don't particularly like cardamom in beer. This is why I'm not a big fan of wits.
There you go. The camera eye. That was actually a Rush reference, by the way.
The camera eye, yes.
The camera eye.
Yes, it is.
What album?
God,
come on.
I'm not bad. I'm gonna go Fly by Night.
No. A lot newer.
A
lot newer than that. In
Subdivisions.
Subdivisions. You're one past it.
Then you have to tell me I don't know what came before Subdivisions.
That would be what we call it. That would be Moving Pictures. Moving Pictures.
Oh, that's
song 1 on side 2 of Moving Pictures.
Oh, that's gonna be side 2. Yeah, side 2. Everyone knows every song on side 1.
Yeah, and they are.
Yeah, Red Barchetta, YYZ, Tom Sawyer, Limelight.
There you go. You got them all.
There you go.
Not in order, but you got them all.
No, not in order. Yeah. Red Barchetta is the first one, isn't it?
No, Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer, Red Barchetta, YYZ, Limelight. And side 2 is Camera Eye, Witch Hunt, and Vital Signs. Vital Signs, great song.
It is.
The whole album's great. The band is great. Every song is great. It's all good.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you whatsoever.
By the way, it's not Subdivisions. It's Signals. Is the album? Is the
Signals? That's
Signals is the album. It's Subdivisions is on. By the way,
which album was the Trees on?
The Trees was on Hemispheres.
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 That was like an allegory taken way too far.
Good song though.
Great song.
Great song.
Probably about 3 minutes too long.
Hell no.
Nah, that was a little too long. He could have.
Cygnus X1 wasn't even too long, and that was a lot longer.
So
anyway, yes, we can talk about Rush all day too, but we're not. We're going to talk.
No, we can't because I've just shot my load on Rush right.
You're done. There you go.
Done.
There you go.
The only other thing I would say is I remember a conversation. My mom did not like Rush.
Is that so?
The reason being was for Roll the Bones. It's like this band is teaching. No, my mom did smoke, but she was pissed off at Roll the Bones. She's like, this band is telling kids to smoke weed. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's not what the song's about, Mom. She's like, what is it? It's about Einstein and his like intellectual battle with Max Planck. She goes, what in the world are you talking about? I said, Max Planck put something out where he, well, it was Einstein who was talking about, I forget which one of them was talking about chance. That's what it is. Max Planck was talking about chance.
Chance, yeah.
Chance, and how things just happen by chance every now and then. And Einstein said to him, I don't think God plays dice with the universe. Mm-hmm. And Roll the Bones is based off of that quote by Einstein. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I could talk about Einstein for a while if you want, but now I've shot my load on Rush.
There you go. And there's actually I won't call it a rap, but it's a spoken rap-ish part of that song, Roll the Bones, in that song. But I'm not gonna sing it.
No,
I'm not gonna
please.
say it. Well, it's not even singing. It's Jack, relax, get busy with the facts. What's good about that? Actually,
your father's name is Jack.
Well, that's besides the point. Is that my kids, even back in the day when they were all young, and I was playing that over there, every single one of them knew every word to that section of that song, and most of that song too. So that was good.
I did two things with my kids when it came to music. One, I taught them the backgrounds to respect. Mm-hmm. And to this day, the boys can still do it.
There you go.
And there's one, and then the other thing I taught them, because it is a rule, and everyone knows this rule. When you're listening to Air in the Air Tonight, it doesn't matter what you are doing. Mm-hmm. When the drum solo comes on, you air drum that son of a bitch. Right?
Did you just hear that? I don't know if that.
Yeah, no, that came through. That came through. Not badly done. And there's one time I'm driving them somewhere. They're probably like 13 and 10 at the time. That's not positions on the steering wheel.
You're talking about the kids, not Phil Collins and Mike Rutherford.
Yes, no, my children's ages. They're in the backseat. They are arguing with each other. They are going at each other. They're nearly coming to blows. And in the Air Tonight comes on, and they're continuing arguing. They're continuing to arguing, and I'm just watching them in the rear view. The drum solo comes on. They stop what they're doing. They go, and they go right back to arguing.
Right.
I'm like, this is parental win right here.
Okay, that's awesome, and you could use that. See, the thing is to actually use the solo parts in Tom Sawyer for Rush for that too. I mean, there's
quite a few.
If you go to a Rush concert,
but who the hell can air?
Unfortunately, you can't do that. But no,
no one can air drum.
Are you precisely like what he did? But no, but the whole entire arena is doing everything at the same time. So it's a beautiful thing. It's great. They put the lights on the arena so you can see everybody doing. It's great. Yeah. And on that note, I just want to raise a glass. Augie brewed a beer for him.
It's pronounced Peart.
To Neil Peart. It's pronounced Peart. There you go. Cheers, buddy. Hope you're writing great lyrics in the sky.
Was the hell the lyricist?
Yep. All right. On that note,
why are we wearing these shirts today?
Why are we wearing these shirts? We're wearing these shirts
because opening day was yesterday.
Opening day was yesterday. Max Scherzer is pitching right now, and we're missing it. So we're probably gonna wrap this up soon, so we can go watch a little bit of it, or at least I can.
And the Mets kept held serve because they're actually usually very, very good on opening day, and it's usually the second day that the wheels come off. But Scherzer's pitching night, so we'll see. It's 1-1 right now in the bottom of the third.
There you go.
So Washington did score first, and the Mets have come back to tie it in the third. I don't know if that counts as coming back to tie it, but they have.
Well, I mean, down 1-0 in the third is not a comeback by any means.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it doesn't really count.
So tonight's let's put this out there really quick. Tonight's top 10 list. I think I have it in here.
Top 10. No, wrong show. I know we're wearing sports jerseys. It's the wrong show.
Well, when I do sports, it's always a
top 10.
It's got a 10 top 10. Top 3 list tonight is top 3 favorite New York Mets of all time.
Because John and I are Mets fans.
We are both Mets fans, and I'm going to prove it. The last time either of us was actually at a Mets game
was
quite
a few years ago.
Quite like 3 years ago when this picture was taken. So there you go.
I still have that hat.
As do I. And
I don't have the shirt anymore.
Well, you cut your shirt up, right? You put it in your.
I put it in the memory quilt.
I still have my shirt. Yeah, I still have mine.
I needed something to represent the Mets, and I was not cutting up this shirt.
Mm-hmm. And under that, you can see I'm wearing. I have my black David Wright jersey on, and under that, I have a blue Mets T-shirt on. Not the same one I'm wearing here. It's actually,
and under that, he's got a wife beater.
No. It was July. Trust me, there's no wife beater under 3 shirts. I think I'm good in July. So there you go. But
you're half Italian.
This is true. So anyway, all right. So again, I'll throw it up. Top 3 favorite New York Mets of all time. Samurai, why don't you start us off, please?
Okay, so we're gonna go. Gonna start off. I'm actually gonna go 3-2-1 here.
Fair enough.
But it's actually going to be like 3-3A, 3A, 3B, 2, and then 1. 3A and 3B. The reason they're 3A and 3B is they platooned in the outfield, in center field, for the last World Series team. So if you're a Mets fan, you immediately know who I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. This would be Lenny Dykstra and Mookie Wilson. Now I caveat Lenny Dykstra with until he left the Mets, because then he became a Philly. Boo on him, first of all. And then when he became a Philly, he got into like serious steroids, then got caught embezzling?
Yep.
Something like that. So he just became an awful human being. But when he's on the Mets, I love to watch him play. John and I were talking about nails. Lenny nails Dykstra. Lenny played center field different than anyone I've ever seen play the game. He played it so damn deep. We talked about this. Take Willie Mays, right? Mm-hmm. Who really should be on both of our lists, but was he?
He's a San Francisco Giant.
Exactly. He's not as much of a Met, so he's excluded. But everyone talks about that.
He's on my top 10 list of all time players, but he's not in my top 3 Mets.
But that catch, it's an over the shoulder, because most center fielders play in a little bit and then run backwards for the hard hit balls. Mm-hmm. Lenny played back.
When the ball's hit and you're playing the outfield, where's your first step?
It depends. Are you Lenny Dykstra or Willie Mays?
No, it's just in general. First step's back. It's your first step's back. Because you want to come in. If you're not going to catch the ball, you want it landing in front of you, not behind you. So.
First step is back. But if you're Lenny Dykstra, your first step is forward, because he played so far back. Mm-hmm. I have never seen an outfielder make so many dives towards home plate to make an out. And we were talking about him and the difference between him and Darryl Strawberry, because Lenny wasn't all that tall. Mm-mm. And he had these kind of short legs, but they went, it's kind of like a cartoon character. And he could move.
Dust flew up, everything. It was really
it had all the little lines drawn in there. Mm-hmm. And Darryl Strawberry would take these like long loping. It looked like he wasn't even trying, but he'd be running just as fast as Lenny.
He was probably moving faster,
Yeah, probably faster. He would cover so much ground because his legs were about 8 feet long. So Lenny, and then you take Mookie. Mook was just always, he was clutch. Mm-hmm. Right? Wasn't Mookie the one who hit the ball down first base that Buckner booted?
It was Mookie's hit.
Yeah, it was an error. He didn't get a hit on it.
No, it was an error.
So he never.
And who scored on that? Do you remember who scored on that?
Ray Knight.
Ray Knight scored on it. Very good.
He did. So
give that man a cheroot. Cheers.
Also known as what was it, Mr. what was his wife's name? Mr. Lopez. What was his wife's name?
Lopez.
Right.
Yeah.
We all called him Mr. Lopez because his wife, at the time, until they won the World Series, she was a bigger star than he was.
Yep. So,
tennis player. Yep. So that's 3A, 3B.
There you go.
I needed a modern Met. And how can you not love the polar bear?
Of course.
Pete Alonso's got to be up there. He's just, in his short time, he has entrenched himself in the hearts of Mets fans.
Hold on.
What do we got there? There he is. There's Alonso. So Pete Alonso, oh my God, when he gets a hold of a ball, that thing moves.
It's gone, yeah. It's a moonshot. That's good.
His moonshot. So now John had his turn to turn around. Here's my turn to turn around. Here's my number one.
There you go.
Hojo. Howard Johnson. How many triples?
Oh,
triple double.
Triple doubles. Yeah, he was playing basketball too. It's like
triple doubles. Yeah. Triple doubles. He had I think he had three in a row.
He did. So
he could crank the ball out. He could steal bases. He was just an all-around. He was a Swiss Army knife. He really was, and he was just so well-rounded, and he was just so understated. Like you didn't really see too many interviews with him because he was just so boring to interview. He wouldn't talk about himself. Never really spoke about himself.
No. Hojo was very.
He was class. He was such a classy player.
Very subdued, very reserved.
Yep.
So there you go.
Loved him. My favorite player, even, you look at all of the phenomenal players that were on that team. Strawberry and Gooden are on that damn team. Right.
And I've said for years, and I've said it to you many times, and I've said it on the sports podcast. I've said it plenty of times. Strawberry and Gooden don't do what they did. We'll leave it at that. We all know what they did.
Yes.
And those of you that don't know, off the field stuff, they don't do what they did. They roller skate to the Hall of Fame, both of them.
Yep.
First ballot, boom, right in, done.
Well, of Gooden, it was said when his curveball was on, God couldn't hit it.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, he was.
And right now, both of them are. I've had the pleasure of actually meeting and speaking with Darryl Strawberry. It was about 12 years ago when I did. Great guy. Turned himself around, did a lot of stuff, and he continues to do so today. Great guy. I had it I met him at a conference we were at, and we were both BSing a little bit. Had like a 15-20 minute conversation with him, like Dave and I are talking right now. Just salt of the earth. Really great guy. Doc. Still getting his shit together.
He's still got his trouble. And now here's the thing: if you're one of those Mets fans, and if you're a huge Gooden fan or a huge Strawberry fan, and you hate the Yankees, go fuck yourself, because the Yankees they've done more for those two men than the Mets ever did.
Sure.
The Mets allowed them. Don't get me wrong, I love the Mets, and I don't usually say too much. Well, I say a lot of bad shit about them, but they allowed those two men to spiral down into the lives they came into. They did nothing to help them, did nothing to stop them, and then when they crashed, the Mets washed their hands of them.
See ya. Get out of here.
The Yankees picked both of them up, put them in the front office, not on the field, in the front office, gave them a chance, and the Yankees, I think, saved Strawberry. You look at what they did for them. They gave them that chance. And yes, it's up to the men themselves to take advantage of that.
Sure.
But that you had to have a chance, and they gave them a chance in the thing they love to do the most.
Right.
Gooden was in and out of it, but Strawberry responded. And frankly, kudos to the Yankees for saving one of the Mets icons.
Yep. Yeah, fair enough. And a quick other story about Doc Gooden too. On the sports podcast last year, to get on with the podcast, last April we actually did. Next week will be a year since we did it. So if you want to go back and check it out, you can actually check it out on any of the audio on any of the audio podcasts for the Get On With It sports podcast. And of course, you can check it out on Facebook.
Yeah, Get On With It.
And you can check it out on Facebook and Instagram as well. Facebook and
it's one of the most
YouTube
appropriately
as well.
named podcasts.
Yeah, get on with it. Yeah, we're all three of us. For all three of us, we go out on tangents. It's very and it applies here too, to a point. So.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in any event, we had on Dennis Scalzitti, a great guy, and he was actually, if you're paying attention to this right now, clearly you're listening and you're understanding what we're talking about as Mets fans. If you go back to 1984, there was the K corner. Okay, it was a strikeout corner. It was specifically for Doc Gooden.
Yep.
All right, and he was any time Doc was pitching a home game, these guys were there, and it was Dennis Scalzitti and his friend Bob Beal, and the two of them there, and they brought a couple other people there as well, but once in a while. But it was mainly the two of them, and they developed the K corner. So in almost every major league stadium, they have a K corner now.
So for the people
who electronic.
So for people, yeah, but the people who don't know, the K corners. Anytime there's a strikeout, they put a K.
They hung a K over.
And if it was a strike looking, the K was backwards.
Backwards, yeah. So any
just like you do on a scorecard,
they hung them up. Now, and they have that now digitally. They started it. These guys started it. We had them on the podcast
for Gooden.
For Gooden, and they had them. We had them on the podcast last.
And then
year.
was it like a few months later?
What's that?
What happened? Was it? No, keep going.
So anyway, so we had them on the podcast, but they did this from 1984 through 1987, and so they did it. They were doing it during obviously the World Series win too. Obviously they were doing it, but and I remember I didn't know Dennis then. I know Dennis now. I've known Dennis for several years now, probably almost 10 years now, but I didn't know him back in the day. But I was at many Mets games in 84, 85, 86, and I saw them there. I saw them doing it. It was such any Doc Gooden start. It was a treat. It was an adventure, but they got to be as part of it. I mean, the Mets embraced them. They gave them tickets. They gave them that section. They had their own security, and they met all these guys and everything else. Dennis's one of Dennis's K's that he painted is actually in the Hall of Fame up in Cooperstown, and it's really cool. You got to see it. But in any event, Doc Gooden actually had released a record, whether it was a rap album or a rap record or just vocals, or I never heard it. I just know it happened. I just forget what it was. But in any event, I never had one. Dennis actually had several of them, and he met up with Doc going back maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe a little longer, at a meet and greet kind of thing. And it was actually in a hotel that they were doing the meet and greet, and he met up with him. And of course, Doc remembered him and everything else, and he brought those with him because he wanted them autographed. Because he wanted to, they're collector's items. He wanted to have them just to hold on, whether he sells them, whatever he does. He asked them if he'd do him a favor and, autograph each of them. And Doc, of course, said yes. But then Doc actually asked him if he wouldn't mind parting with one of them because he doesn't have one of them anymore. He did it.
Really?
They're gone. He has nothing. He had none of that stuff he did anymore. And it's a shame. It really is sad that it actually came to that with him. I really feel bad. I mean, they did it to himself. I mean, you can't. You can't feel that bad because the man did it to himself, but it's just a sad situation. But we wish him all the best. I wish him all the best. I wished him then. He seems to be getting a little bit more involved, and you hear a lot less now.
He stayed out of the news.
You hear a lot less in the news about what Doc did wrong lately. But. Yeah. And you see him at a lot more events too. So maybe is, I mean, I know Darryl was trying to get, help him get on the straight and narrow for a little while. And then he kind of like tailed off on it. But, it's a shame. It's a shame. But in any event, on that note, I got to give you my top three.
You have a top three. I know you're number one.
You know my number one. So yes. Here's how it.
But your 3 and 2 are going to be.
Well, I'm giving you 5 actually.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Okay.
I mean, I could have gone on and given you 20.
Of course, I'm giving you. Here's the way I did it. I'm giving you 2 honorable mentions, and I'm giving you a 3, 2, 1. All right.
Can I give one honorable mention before you
go for it? Yeah, go.
Because I already had 3 from that team.
Sure.
But Johnny, myself, and Al Gattuso will be at the game where they retire Keith Hernandez's number. Keith Hernandez, one of the greatest first basemen ever to play the game when you take into account his batting record and his fielding.
Oh, come on. Really? You can't compare. You compare him to Ike Davis? I mean, come on.
Stop. It's a joke.
That was a joke, folks. That was me kidding around.
And of course, he had an advantage because he's left-handed.
Right.
You know, a left-handed first baseman is an asset and a half.
Mm-hmm. What'd you call him?
I didn't spit on him.
There you go. All right.
I was not the second spitter.
Back and to the left. That's a Seinfeld reference, folks, if you don't know. Anyway. All right. Here's my top three. Here's what I did. I got 2 honorable mentions and I got my 3-2-1. And they're all from different ish time frames with the Mets. Two of them overlap. But here we go. My first honorable mention is the DeGrominator. How can you not love Jacob DeGrom? I mean, the man. Okay, the Mets drafted him out of Stetson. Okay, Stetson University down in Florida. Okay,
yep. I've driven through it because there's a brewery there that I went to.
Sure, he was. And what position was he playing in Stetson, Dave?
I don't remember.
He was a shortstop.
He was a
shortstop. He's the best pitcher in Major League Baseball, and he was a shortstop when he got drafted out of college.
Well, he's not right now because he's on the IR.
Oh yeah.
So exactly. we just went and signed the second best pitcher in all of baseball.
Exactly. So
we have pitching tonight.
Right. Oh, and we should probably wrap this up so we can watch a little bit of that.
Because the last last 5 Cy Youngs have been those two guys?
Ish. No, he's
there's one in there.
Well, yeah, no, there's others. Well, I mean,
the score is now it's top of the 4th. Mets are up 3-1.
3-1. There you go. We got to end this podcast. I got to go watch this. All right. So anyway, so here you go. Jacob DeGrom. That's my new one. Okay, obviously, and then nobody's going to argue with me on that one. My other honorable mention is Edgardo Fonzie.
Fonzie,
amazing second baseman.
Yeah,
part of the best infield in baseball ever.
And the closest the Mets came to winning the World Series since.
Yeah. Well, not really, because they had the same record in the World Series in 2015 as in 2000. So, but
fuck Gibson.
In any event, Fonzie. I mean, that was John Olerud, Edgardo Alfonso, Ray Ordonez, and Robin Ventura. The best infield in baseball ever. If you look at the stats, you go back. Sports Illustrated wrote articles on it. You go back and you look at the stats. In 1999, that infield was the best infield that has ever played in Major League Baseball. That infield, but in any event, and Fonzie was a great hitter, and he was a great manager for the Brooklyn Cyclones too. So cheers to him. But anyway, so those are my 2 honorable mentions. Here we go. Now number 3, from the same era as Edgardo Alfonso, Mike Piazza. All right.
I'm surprised he's not higher on your list.
No.
If Meathead were watching, because Meathead's got a major man crush on Piazza. Mm-hmm. As far as I'm concerned, Piazza's just a square. But Piazza's actually Italian. Square.
For square, exactly. Okay. So keep that Italian reference. There you go. Anyway, so Mike Piazza, he's my number 3. Anybody that really cares about baseball and knows Mets or whatever, I don't have to explain any of these. There's nothing really I need to say about any of these guys.
When it comes to the catcher position, I was a bigger fan of the kid.
Well, of course. But Mike Piazza, I mean, the things he did, but what he did for that team. I mean, you think about where the shape they were in, and they were climbing back. They were climbing back out of where they had gotten to with all the bullshit with which we call Bobby Bonilla and all the guys that they had pulled in, and 106 losses in 1993. So they were climbing back out. In 1998, they made a trade with the Marlins that had 2 weeks earlier made a trade with the Dodgers to get Mike Piazza, and Steve Phillips brought up Mike Piazza to the Queens, and it just changed from there. And the Mets have had their down years, but they never were as bad as they were in 1993 and all those years there in the 90s, and before that. And I'm not counting the 80s, because the 80s they were amazing.
Yeah, because there's only 2 times.
No pun intended. They were amazing.
Yes, there's only twice that they were referred to as the amazing mess.
Right. Exactly. So, but that started it, right? So Mike Piazza, there you go. So that's my number 3, and he's still part of the organization to this day. And he was the second Met to go into the Hall of Fame as a Met player. Okay, so there you go. That's Mike Piazza. All right, and the best part of that, not the best part of that, but a really really cool part of that is that when Mike Piazza went to the Hall of Fame, we went out to the game where they announced they showed the plaque, they announced his induction into Hall of Fame, and took a picture. Baseball Hall of Fame actually took a picture with me and my daughter next to Mike Piazza's plaque in the Mets Hall of Fame. And if you go on the Baseball Hall of Fame website or Instagram, all the way back to when that was, there's me and my daughter standing there on the Baseball Hall of Fame's Instagram. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, number 2. And
that's going to be a top 3 at some point.
What's that?
That's going to be a top 3 at some point.
What is?
Top 3 times John has shown up or a picture John has taken has shown up on somebody's Instagram.
Somebody's important. Somebody important.
Some
important person's Instagram.
Yeah, like not mine.
Not yours. Yeah, because that's daily.
That's not important. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, number two. Due. And of course, I'm going to smack Libera Samurai for this one. Stole my thunder, Keith Hernandez. Keith, best first baseman the Mets have had. No slight to Alonso.
Olerud over
Olerud was a great. He was here for what?
But he wasn't a Met.
He was a little bit. It was a Blue Jay that went back out to Seattle. He was a Met. He was briefly a Met. Part of the best Mets. Part of the best out infield ever, but very brief. But in any event, Keith Hernandez, and his number's getting retired this year, and like as Dave said before. So, and my number 1.
Oh, Dave. Was the first baseman. Dave
Magadan.
There
you go.
You know what I loved so much about Magadan?
What's that?
His eye at the plate. Mm-hmm. There was times where he'd be at the plate. He wouldn't swing at a ball. It'd be called a strike. He'd look at the umpire, and the umpire would know immediately that he was wrong. Because Magadan's eye was that damn good.
Dude.
No, he wouldn't even do that. He'd just look at him.
No, but that was what the look meant.
Just
the look was like.
No, it wasn't even that. He'd just look back. It wouldn't even be a dude look. It would just be and the referee would be like, "Shit, that's Magadan. That must have been." His eye was that good.
And and my number 1.
Number 1. Say it with me.
Say. Tom
Seaver.
Tom Seaver. Yeah. Tom terrific. All right.
Tommy terrific.
Yeah. And the only person that ever was able, not him personally, but put Tom Brady down, because Tom Brady actually wanted to
Tom terrific.
Copyright the term Tom terrific. Like, no, no, you're not Tom terrific. Tom Seaver was Tom terrific. You're Tom Brady. He was Tom terrific.
You can't have everything. You've got GOAT.
Exactly.
Questionably.
Tom Seaver.
You've got
and Tom up there in the sky. All right. Cheers.
Got a drop left.
There you go. Cheers. That was just. There's nothing more to say. First Met to ever go into the Hall of Fame as a Met. Mike Piazza's second.
Tom was on the first World Series team.
Tom was on the first World Series team
and led that team to that World Series.
Mike Piazza was on a World Series team.
A World Series.
And the third,
not a Mets World Series team, but a.
No. Piazza was on a Piazza was on a Mets World Series team when they played the Yankees.
Oh,
it was the only World Series.
Not a World Series
winner. He was on a World Series team. Didn't win it. He was on a team, and more than likely the third Met to go into the Hall of Fame as a Met has already been on a Mets World Series team as well. Didn't win it again, but of course that's DeGrom. But
DeGrom, and the one we hadn't. Well, he's been mentioned on the show, but another one we'll mention because he was just such the heart and soul of the Mets team for so long. The only other person in New York that we would suffer to be called the captain, other than Messier, David Wright. He bled Mets blue and orange.
He did.
I think
to this day he still does.
I think if they traded him, he would quit. He would retire.
If he didn't have the injury and the spinal stenosis and everything else, and all the problems that he had, and he continued to play, and he was still, whether he was still playing today or he had retired by now, all right, if he played straight through and didn't have the problems he had, he would have been Hall of Fame. Absolutely.
And I still to this day think that home run derby where he just crushed the crap out of everything he hit and won it, he was never the same after it.
And who was the first Mets captain? He was not the first Mets captain. We've said his name twice today. You said it, and I've said it. That's your hint. So there's only been one that we've both said. So.
Oh, you mean on our list?
Yeah.
Was Keith a captain?
Keith was captain. Yeah.
Huh. I never knew they named him captain, but
Yeah,
because it was only until Wright that they made a big deal about him being the captain of the team.
There hasn't been that
There
many.
hasn't been one. And there hasn't been one since.
Yeah.
No, there hasn't.
Well, I mean, Wright's only been retired for 3 years, so
yeah. Well,
4 years now. 4 years.
Maybe it's 4, but for like a year prior to that, he didn't even really play. I mean, how often did he take the field?
Well, he didn't take it at all. He came in the last game.
Yeah,
he played one game and then he retired. So, anyway.
But like in New York, when you say the captain, you're talking Messier, unless it's baseball season, and then it's right.
Right.
They tried for a while to refer to Jeter as the captain. That never stuck.
Jeter. Well, that's the other. You know what? You got every Yankee fan that is watching this podcast screaming at you right now because they all call Jeter the captain. So.
They call him the captain. We all call Wright the captain. So there's your baseball captains. But I think both Mets and Yankees fans can agree. In New York, the captain is Mark Messier.
Right.
So, I can
football, they're a little more liberal with it. They're a little more liberal with it in football because, Daniel Jones is already the captain of it. So it's just you wear that C with the stars underneath it on your jersey and you're a captain. So
there's 3 captains on a football team.
Sure.
So it's always watered down. There's never a captain.
Right.
Exactly. You can't say the captain. There is no the captain.
Well,
you're a captain.
Honestly, you think about it.
There's 3 teams.
There's 3 teams in one team. Baseball, people play both positions. Basketball, people play both positions. Hockey, people play both positions.
No, they don't. You got offense and defense.
Well, they're still on the ice.
Always on the ice, regardless of goal. Yeah.
Right. It's one set. It's one team kind of thing. Football, offense, defense, special teams. That's it.
This leads me to one of my favorite quotes. Well, might be my second favorite quote from a
realize we haven't talked about beer for about half an hour.
We were not going to make this a sports podcast. There's the football coach. When the Tampa Bay Buccaneers first came around, their coach, I can't remember his name right now. He had some of the best press conferences afterwards. And they asked him once, well, what did you think of the game? He's like, well, other than offense, defense, and special teams, I thought we played great.
Nice.
But the best quote he ever had is they asked him once what he thought of his team's execution. And he said, I'm all for it. It's just, without a hesitation. What was his name? The first.
Hold on.
Tampa Bucks coach. John McKay. Some of the best post-game interviews ever.
They won the were they in the NFC Central at the time when they had the Central?
Yep.
They didn't have it wasn't North and South. It was East and West. It was Central.
East West Central.
They won it in '79. 79? I think it was 79. Pretty sure.
They weren't as sucky as he thought they were, but his post-game interviews were just historically hilarious.
Yeah, and they won NFC Central in 1979 and in '81. That was under his watch. They won the NFC. In fact, they've won the NFC South, obviously, in 02, 05, 07, and this past year. And
the game's now tied, John.
The game's now tied 3-3?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Scherzer to have given up 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th.
There you go. Well, it's probably time to end this podcast so we can actually go check that out.
You can go check it out. I'm probably going to go to bed.
You're going to go to bed? You're not leaving yet.
I've got to start
packing.
No, yeah, I start to get to bed earlier and earlier and get up earlier and earlier to kind of
just so you can
get used to Italy time.
Cut down on the jet lag. So to speak,
cut down a little bit. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, on that note, we're sorry if any of you watching or listening to the Beer Podcast
got confused. And we can get it because Tuesday night was the Sports Con podcast.
Right? Yeah. We did the sports podcast on Tuesday night.
So, and then on Friday, the beer guys came in and did a sports podcast.
There you go. Well, we did an hour of beer and a half an hour of sports. So there you go. But
yeah.
All right. In any event, okay. Remember, next week We will. It will be Matt and I, and Dave will be in the air while we're on the show.
Yeah, I will. And so on Facebook,
It will be somewhere in the stratosphere while we are doing the show.
Somewhere in the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
the ionosphere. I don't know how high the plane goes.
No, I don't know. It's probably pretty high if it's the ionosphere. I hope it's not that high.
I
But
don't know. That could be fun. We're gonna get weightless and
there
everything.
you go. You just float around the cabin.
Up in the troposphere.
Right.
The we're getting very friggin' scientific also.
Exactly.
But while I'm away, pay attention to the Beer Samurai is a page on Facebook. If you don't follow it already, follow it, because I will be going live on Facebook on the Beer Samurai page. It will be shared on the Locker Room Guys website, and probably on the Facebook page as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll share it on the we'll share it on the Facebook page, and we'll have a link to it on the website.
So anytime I'm doing anything beery, I'll probably go live just to make all your asses jealous that I'm in Italy and you're not.
There you go.
I may even do a little vino.
There you go. And if you're do this too, just to make everybody jealous and pissed off at you. Yeah. Anywhere anytime you're by anywhere. Anytime
you're anywhere near.
You're anywhere near or by a landmark. Like, I don't know if you're going to Rome. But
no, I'm not going to Rome. I'm going to be in Venice, so I'd be Piazza San Marco.
Sure, and by the canals, or anytime you're anywhere that's recognizable as iconography. Iconography.
Oh, great, the iconographers here.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Facebook Live from it, so you can My point was, the fire.
You catch that? Yeah.
My point was
that's the all clear, isn't it?
Hypothetically speaking, if you're in pizza and you took a,
I'm not going to pizza.
If you were pizza.
I'm not going to pizza.
Take a Facebook Live with the Leaning Tower pizza behind.
The only thing that
I know you're not. I'm saying that's
there's only going to be two things recognizable while I'm in Italy.
What's that?
That'll be the Campanile in the Piazza San Marco. So that's the clock tower. Campanile's a clock tower, and
and your son.
And I'm happy to see a gondola.
Oh yeah, no, you got to see a gondola. Yeah,
I see a gondola. Other than that, and maybe the Piante Rialto.
There you go. Yeah, just do those. And any beer related.
This will be a trip where there'll be more wine than beer. My liver's going to be going, huh?
What the hell's that?
What's this grape juice shit?
Exactly.
Hey, it's fermented. Relax.
All right. So enjoy yourself. Enjoy your trip. We wish you well. Safe flight, safe travels. Enjoy yourself over there.
And the next time I see Walt, I'll be in Germany.
Yeah, exactly. So when we will post everything that he's doing while he's out there, anything that he puts on Beer Samurai page, we'll put on the Facebook page as well, so you can all see it. He will not be on the show next week. He will be the following week from Italy, and then back to normal for 1 week, and we'll go from there. So,
and then on the 26th, we probably won't have too much time to talk about it, but at some point, I will give a rundown on the birra artigianale scene.
We'll do it while you're on the show. We'll have what we're going to do is
I don't know that it'll see because so I'll be on the show the 19th, but the 20th is where I'll hit probably some of the best birrificios.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
All right. Anyway, on that note, we'll wrap the show up for today. I want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to slow this down a minute. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's www.lagerroom.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time-ish.
Sort of. Maybe Friday,
night,
maybe Thursday.
Just pay attention to when we're going live. That's all. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher.
Just follow our asses.
Google Podcast, Amazon Music Podcast, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you'll never miss a show.
This is where it goes in, yeah.
Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we will talk to you soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.
And LFGM.
LFGM.
Mm-hmm.